Hello, my name is Bob Garvey. I'm a plaintiff personal injury attorney from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Today I'd like to talk to you about therapist, psychiatrist, patient sexual abuse cases. Unfortunately, these cases are very common, and the public is not always aware of the fact that basically if a therapist wants to seduce a patient, he or she is more often than not going to succeed. There's a reason for this. Patients come to a therapist in a state of great need and vulnerability, first of all. Second of all, the therapist or psychiatrist is trained to manipulate the thought process of the patient in a good way. So what happens in these abuse cases is the psychiatrist or therapist uses their training, the training that is supposed to allow them to manipulate a patient for the patient's good, to help them put their life back together. But they turn the process around and use it selfishly to manipulate the patient, in this case to satisfy their sexual needs. These cases are devastating to the patient. In almost every circumstance, there's a high incidence of suicide following these relationships because the patient realizes that what this therapist did was wrong, and they get dumped by the therapist. In many cases, the patient falls in love with the therapist, and it's a train wreck at the end of it. And we just successfully represented a female patient against a male therapist for more than $1 million in damages, and it was not pretty what happened to this person. So if you have been a victim of that, it can be a male therapist with a female, a male. I mean, if your therapist has been engaged in sexual conduct with you, in most states it's actually a felony. In the state of Michigan, it's a felony, and the reason it's a felony is because of this tremendous power imbalance that the therapist holds over the patient and the tremendous power that they have to manipulate. So they do incredible damage. It happens, it's almost an epidemic, the number of cases that we see. So if you have that kind of problem, you need to speak with a lawyer. Obviously, you need to speak to a therapist as well. Thank you. If you have any questions, please contact me.